Hello everyone and welcome to the Mikey Scott Studio YouTube channel. My name is Mikey, this is my basement recording studio and this is my drum kit. It's a Mapex Horizon. I got it in 2012, 2013. It's wonderful, I love it. It's a mid-range kit. I couldn't afford the DW, but it's done me really good over the years. I used it in my old band Age of Atlas. I've used it in countless recording projects, and now it's here at Mikey Scott Studio in Penytanguishene. It's usually fully mic'd up at all times. You may have seen a video describing the microphones that I've got on it. I'll link that up on that side. It'll be there. It's time to change things around. I've been using these microphones for the Sandra Good Band recently. We've been doing a few gigs out and about and I've needed to use them for our live performances. So I've got some different ones and we're going to try it out. We have selected our poisons for today's drum kit microphone session. This is an AKG D112. My old music technology teacher used to call this a duck egg mic for obvious reasons. Looks tasty, sounds lovely. For the snare drum, we are going to use this. This is a Sennheiser E604. I always forget the name of these. I usually use these on the toms, but not today. I'm going to use two on the snare. One atop, one below. I don't think I've ever mic'd up the snares using a Sennheiser E604. So today's the day. For the toms, I'm going to use what I usually use for miking the snares and the snare, and this is an AKG C518. This is a condenser gooseneck microphone. I often see these on touring bands' drum kits or regular performing bands' drum kits in venues if they bring everything. They're like, oh, I've just got you a send. They usually have these on. I'm apprehensive to use them because they're condensers and I worry about the spill from the cymbals and everything else. But we have some mixing tricks I want to compare because I usually use these ones on the toms. For the overheads, we're going to use the Rode NT5s. Classic. I have a matched pair. Basically, these three I learnt from college. The NT5s going to be up top there, spaced pair. Lovely. We're going to use for the hi-hat a C1000. Boop. Can't go wrong, maybe point it slightly away from the snare to not pick up too much of it. And in the room, I'm going to use my posh ones. These are my AKG 414s as a matched pair, so they're the XL2s. Going to use them in an XY pair at the end of the room. Let's get miking. Now that's done, time for me to get some levels and then let's play some drums. So here we have a visual representation of what my drums sound like with the microphones in place. And we're going to go through it, starting off with the kick drum. I thought it was really dull, without any EQ compression, any dynamic processing or anything. I thought it was really dull. I think removing the back head of the kick and placing it further into it, closer to the beater, would have made a massive difference there. The snare drum, the 604 a top and a bottom the snare, I was quite impressed with that actually. I prefer a condenser at the bottom of the snare usually because I have it quite low in the mix. I can deal with the bleed in that case, but it sounds really nice, punchy, powerful, enjoyable. I'm going to do that again, definitely. Now the toms, lovely brightness, stick hitting them, you know, on the beat. It sounds lovely there, but so much bleed. There was such a large amount of post-processing to do. with those. In the first example you heard, the overheads were quite low in the mix because the tom mics were picking up so much of the cymbals. If I had them any higher, it would have been incredibly unpleasant and washy and cymbally and bright. So yeah, I don't think I'll be using them on the toms for this purpose, for this kind of sound. I think isolated, perfect, lovely, but with so many other things around, a little bit too difficult. The C1000 on the hi-hat, fine. I prefer a bit more brightness, though. I think it's a bit duller than my AKG Perception 170. I prefer that one, in my opinion. The overheads, spaced pair of NT5s, great, lovely stereo signal there. It sounded lovely, nice and bright. I can't fault that. I've used them for years and I'm very impressed. The 414s in the room, I just think they're wonderful microphones anyway. It's just nice to have a bit of life. It's nice to feel like you're in a space when you're listening to music. In my opinion, a lot of the time, I prefer to have things a bit ambient. So it's nice to have a couple of room mics in there. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this. It's just a video showcasing some of my microphones, some knowledge, and I'm looking forward to your opinions. Let me know what you think to these microphones, in these places, on this kit, in this here studio in Penetanguishene. I'm Mikey. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you well.